Okay, so I'm going to try and explain how we almost totally screwed this up. Make sure to check out Fletch95.com for merchandise like our new cool race car stuff merch, team merch from this year and last year, Fletch95.com.
Okay, so we're going to start doing the assembly on our Winters rear end. And it's been pre-assembled. And we're going to get a spec sheet on it. Spec sheet shows us actually even who assembled it, what the preload was on the center, what the preload was on the side belt. That's the preload on these bearings on either side, and as well the whole assembly preload without any seals. First we have to open the front up so that we can get the front plate on. To put this plate on, we got to pull the yoke out, and this will just slide off like that. It has a dust shield on there. Some guys don't run the dust shield, but it kind of works good to keep the dust out of the front seal because the front seal will ride on that. Okay. So here's the walk-up plate we're going to run. It's a Wurz walk-up plate. It comes already with the front seal in it, which that's nice. So we always look in here, make sure the spring on the seal is intact. I know a lot of guys try and soften spring seals or eliminate them even, but we're not going to play that silly game. So what we'll do is we'll just put a bolt in here to mock it up real quick, and that'll allow us to just locate it so that we can get all the bolts started. We're going to go ahead and use thread locker. We're going to use the orange Permatex thread locker on these. Test little drip over here. Works good. We can also remember that it's easy. The one at noon and the one at 6 do not have thread locker on them yet.
We're not going to pull anything up real tight so we get everything run in. We've already checked all the holes, we know they're clean. But this unit will get an awful lot of torque applied to it.
Socket. Put it on there, we'll adjust our torque wrench. If you do this enough, you get a calibrated arm. You kind of tell what's right. Get over here so we're not getting interference with that. It's got thread locker on it, and we're ready to go. How you doing in there, Buckwheat? So this is some gear oil that we're putting in here. Just want to make sure the seal has a good amount of oil on it. If I hold my mouth right, there we go. And then we'll pop it in. Be like that. Rotate it a few times. Make sure we got the oil around it good. And now we can put the bolt in the front. Well, see how far you get. I want to get the whole thing. Put the side, the diff in, the carrier in. That's good. Nice and easy. Center down in there. Okay. All right. Put a little oil down in that. Now you might have to wiggle the...
Yeah, you gotta go this way.
A little bit.
We're gonna rotate. Nice and easy. You might slip off the wood here.
Okay, let's walk it. Walk the back over too. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay, you can stick some oil in those and then put some in the bearings that are in the front.
Just gotta hold your mouth right.
So now that there's gears in the back, the input will drive into up through the secondary gear, come in, turn the pinion, and the ring gear will turn like this. I'm turning the yoke like the drive shaft will turn it, and it'll turn it like that. Now, this isn't completely suspended correctly because the other cover's not on, the bearing race and all that, and these are all preloaded and set per case so that there's shims in the end of the covers that will set the preload and the depth fore and aft. The other thing that this rear end has is there's a button that goes in the back, which we haven't put in yet, and it comes in from this side and it runs on the back of the ring gear. So that's something we'll do later. But right now, we'll put some oil on this. We'll grease this with some red grease so that once we put this cover on, we'll turn this over a few times, make sure we run it all the way through. We'll take this end off, we'll look inside, we'll just disassemble it, and then we can see what the tooth pattern looks like. And when we first run it, we'll run it on a mineral oil. Even though this looks like it's nice and polished, I like to run stuff in on a mineral oil for the first day or set of runs, and let everything kind of seat and bed in. And then after that's done, we'll switch over to synthetic. Catch the bearing.
You have to lift it. Nope. Oh, you gotta get it set because you're not square.
Okay, it's day 2 of putting this new rear end together. This is where we left off yesterday. We've got a mock assembly done on the new Winters rear end, and now we are prepping hubs. Okay, Dad has already started on this, so we got 3 left to do. He was just showing me how he does it. Got to make sure that the bearings stay with their associated hub. There's a seal on the back here, as well as another bearing, an interior bearing, and we're going to get that stuff out, and then we're going to get this hub cleaned up, and then yeah, once everything is nice and cleaned up, we'll be ready to start assembling on the new rear end. And we are going to hit the inner seal, the inner bearing and seal, with a seal driver. You got to make sure that you get the right size one. You want to hit this inner surface here and not the cage around it. If you hit the cage around it, you're going to damage it. We use this thing and we hit it with a hammer.
Oh, get your finger? Yeah.
Bingo. Okay. Get this out through the top. Nice and gooey. Pro system. Let's see what we got. It is like a pizza box. Okay. Is this a right or a left? I don't know. So, which is how do you know what's a right and what's a left?
So look at the way the veins are. See, they're not straight. So
okay.
You want them to turn that way. So this is a left rear. Turn like that. That's how you want the veins.
Flip this over. They don't need to be crazy tight. I'm just gonna make sure they're nice and snug. Got our inner bearing here. That's the big one. We're gonna go taper down, rotor up. Drop it in there like that. Now this is gonna be a little tricky. Doesn't have a seal in it right now. Taper in. Put a finger in there. Now we're gonna take our flat washer with the tabby. And we're gonna spin our nut on. There we go. Again, the seal will go here. We're getting new seals, so this does not have a seal on it. I want to see any comments. Well, you didn't put a seal in there. This is a mock-up. All right, we've come to probably what's the most nerve-wracking part of this process, and that is going to be drilling and tapping the axle tubes. So this will be Dad's first time ever doing this. This will be my first time ever doing this. So we're gonna take it slow and try to do it properly. We've got an assortment of tools laid out. We kind of have a little bit of a plan as to how we're gonna go about doing it. To other guys, this might not be a big deal, but this is totally out of our wheelhouse. So yeah, we're gonna take our time with it and make sure we try to do it right the first time. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna try and explain how we almost totally screwed this up. We're all about authenticity on our social media stuff, and yeah, to be totally authentic, we almost screwed this up. So I'm going to show you, or try to show you, how that happened and how we got around it. This is not, by the way, this video is not a tutorial on how to do this. Nor is it a tutorial on how to assemble this rear end. This is just our process of doing it that we went through. But in case you are watching it and trying to get some pointers at least, here's something not to do. So this is the bracket that holds the rear brake calipers on the rear axle tube. In order for this not to spin under braking force on the tube, it has two bolts that go like this, and those actually thread straight into the axle tube, and that fixes the location of the bracket around the tube. Okay, so the first thing we did is we mocked everything up. We got our brakes mocked up with our hub and everything, decided where we wanted the brackets to be, and then we marked those spots. We used a transfer punch to mark where our studs are going to go through the bracket, and then we started by taking the bracket off, and you cannot drill through this because the bracket itself is threaded, and if you try to drill through it, you're going to ruin those threads. So you have to take the bracket off and then drill the tube. And then where we almost screwed it up is we almost started to tap without the bracket back on the tube. You might not think that's a big deal, but without the bracket on the tube, there's no way to make sure that these threads and these threads line up. Luckily, we caught ourselves before it was too late, went ahead and put the bracket back on there, and as you can see in this video, we tap through the bracket. When you tap through the bracket, at the beginning of your process, the tap should just thread right through the bracket because it should line up with those threads if you're using the right size tap. So you just got to be gentle with it, gently run it in through here, and then when you hit the tube, it's going to start cutting. You don't want to recut these threads. You want it to just fall in line with these threads in the bracket. So, but then once you hit the tube, now you have to cut new threads. So if you don't tap through the bracket, there's no way to know that these threads here, when I put this bolt in here, there's no way to know that these threads are going to match. You can see it coming through the other side. There's no way to know that these threads are going to match these threads, and then you might have a problem. So yeah, that was a near miss for us. It was our first time doing this again, so luckily we caught it before it was too late. But yeah, tap through the bracket, and that'll make sure that everything lines up perfect. Starting off with our starter bit. We're going to take this really easy. We're just going to do that enough to get a little taper in there. Woo! Yep. Again, some super penetrant. Just gonna flush that baby out. All right, we've got our hole drilled in the tube right here. This is the hole that we're going to be putting threads into with this tool right here. Since this bracket is already threaded, this should go in really easily to start with, like it is. I can just spin it in by hand. And then when I get to the tube, I'm going to have to use my T-handle. Okay, that's the tube. I can feel it. This is a tap, so it's a cutter versus a thread chaser, which is not a cutter. It's more of a cleaner than anything. We might end up using this a little bit too, but we're using this to cut our new threads, which is something I don't have a ton of experience with, but we're learning now. And by I don't have a ton, I mean I have 0. You can see as I go, I'm working it back and forth. That is taking the material that we're cutting away and it's getting it out of the actual cutters and it's putting it into these flutes. So we don't want to drag that cut material back through our brand new threads if we can help it. We're going to be adding oil to it as well as flushing it out some. Voila. Actually, really nothing came out on the tap itself, which is good. Now we're just going to flush it. We've got our bolt that we're going to use. We're going to get some Permatex silicone lubricant on there just to help it go in even easier. Hose that guy down like that. And look at that, I can take it all the way to the bottom just by hand. Got a wrench. Tighten it up. That's that. Alright, little update. I want to show you where we got to with our rear end. Have a look here. Our brackets are all finished up. Everything is pretty much mocked together. We're still missing a few things. We got to do bird cages next. And we're missing a few parts and pieces, wheel bearing seals, things like that. But as you can see, everything is pretty much mocked in, and this is how it's going to run. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, getting to see us put this rear end together for the very first time. It was a new experience for me, which is really cool. And so it took a lot of time, was a lot of detail work, but I'm glad that we did take our time and we were patient with it because I think it turned out really well. Next up, we'll be hanging bird cages on it and other brackets for the lift bar system and things like that. So, as well as Fletcher's been working on the cockpit. Fletcher and Dad have been working on the cockpit, and then we'll be getting a lot closer here really quickly. So, thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell on for notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel, and we will see you on the next one.